All right, well, let's get into two gentlemen that you cared about, that you liked. What Shits and Gigs podcast is what
James
they
and Fuhad went on what's Glorious, whatever.
Flagrant 2.
Flagrant.
Oh, it's called Flagrant. It's just Flagrant now.
Flagrant podcast with that little fuckwad
Andrew Schultz and Hashan Singh
with the fucking
Akash
pedo
Singh.
stash. I hate your mustache. Having a mustache with no other facial hair in 2024 is fucking crazy work.
White boys can get that off though.
No, they can't.
Yeah, they can get that off.
No, they can't. Europeans can get that off.
He is European.
He is American.
European American.
He's American.
So let's just get into because the thing is here, I'm not even a fan of these guys. I don't like the whole British guys talking unless you my man Kitchen. I don't hear blah 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 blah. I don't want to hear all that.
He thinks that all British people sound just horrible.
They
speaking.
do. It's the worst. And I don't want to hear that. So they've never been guys I've been fans of. But then when I see all this going on, I'm like, okay, let's see what's going and what happened here. Mm-hmm. So the joke that I saw that was really people having an issue with was the fact that I guess Andrew said they grew their beards out because they date black women that like to hit them.
So Fuhad was talking about the whole like black girlfriend effect thing, and he was like, oh, like blah blah blah, so explaining it to Schultz, and then Schultz was like, oh, the white guys lose their hair because of the stress of dealing with black women or whatever. And
that's what Andrew said?
Yeah, and then grow out their beards to cushion the physical assault. And then James and Fuhad were just standing here.
So, okay, I think one thing to be clear is folks aren't familiar with Andrew Schultz content. I think this is kind of one thing that's happened with them where you have their audience being transitioned into an area that is no filter. So that's
Andrew Schultz is somebody who uses a black scent and his proximity to black people and the black community and black culture as content on a fucking regular goddamn basis.
It's not just black though. He does it with everybody.
He still uses a black scent like a motherfucker. Where did he grow up?
Well, he's a New Yorker. He's from New York. But that's why it's like it's different for him in regards to that. But no, if you listen to like, okay, his crowd work, when you see on his stand up, the thing that he'll do that makes him a novelty amongst people is that he'll be a white guy that knows intimate information about people's culture.
He can scroll on TikTok.
He can look at somebody. No, but I'm saying he'll look at somebody, can guess where they from and their ethnicity, and almost have a complete banter with them, almost like he's like their cousin or something. Mm-hmm. And like that's just kind of a gift that he has and that he pokes at. So I mean, it wasn't like they were talking about black women getting beaten. Like that wasn't they weren't joking about
black women being violent domestically in their relationships. That's what Andrew was joking about.
Okay, is that a bad thing to joke about? Like it's not like you're saying y'all are getting beat. Y'all are saying y'all are doing the beating. That's subverting the narrative. It's
still making black women look aggressive and angry, and that's a trope that is pushed that we do not fucking like. And you know that. You're a smart black
I'm not
man.
saying that's not the problem in regards to that.
You know that the trope of the angry black woman has been something that's been pushed in media for decades, for as long as we can remember. You either a mammy, you're a Jezebel, or you're an angry black woman. Those are the only three things that you can be. So him making jokes about that after Fuhad was basically trying to give black women a compliment, like, oh yeah, black women glow up their partners.
What they do there at the show is to make jokes about things.
That is also, I get that, right? I get that. James and Fuhad, Shits and Gigs, your production, whatever the fuck, like, y'all should have did y'all research on what podcast y'all were going on. I will assume that majority of your fans, your base, your core is women. Cause we like women, like when I scroll through your comments, it's not men in your comments like, ha, ha, ha. No, the tweets that y'all pick when y'all do your episodes. So when you see their episodes and they're reading the tweets, these are like groups that, and they put out the topic, and then all of these are people replying to them specifically. It's not just random shit that they do that. But now at this point, because their following is so huge, they can just ask people to send them funny shit to read on the podcast. And it's all women. Your whole base is women. So going on a podcast with this motherfucker,
that's hate.
That I mean, you can think he's funny and blah blah blah.
Because the thing is, but you're blaming it on Andrew.
I'm not blaming it on Andrew. I'm blaming it on James and Fuhad and their team, and they should have picked the podcast that they went to. How you go on Poor Minds and then go to Andrew Schultz the next week?
I think what
type of demographic?
That's actually in a similar demographic. But I think one thing
you're missing. Poor Minds and Andrew fucking Schultz. Are you fucking stupid?
There's a lot of worlds where those blend together. Yes, it is. 85 South Show, the comedy that blends in with them. Yes, it is. Yes, it does. I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you that would blend. Yes, it would.
There are words I'm trying to stop saying.
I'm just saying it. There are words. Stupid. Those are things that will blend in.
There's probably like a 15% blend.
Okay, that's a blend.
If that, I'll give it maybe like 10 max.
So it's still a blend.
Go ahead, say what you were saying.
So what I'm saying is, it's not just all on Andrew, because Andrew kind of exposed him and woke him up.
I'm not saying it's on Andrew at all.
Because he exposed him. He already said he went in. They did their little weak ass apology where they did the boo shit.
They did that weak ass apology where James was doing all the talking and Fuhad was just sitting there, not saying shit, not even looking at the camera, just pathetic ass bitch.
Because if we being honest, Fuhad said the wildest shit. We was talking about was too many Nigerians. That was actually the most egregious shit.
And I saw people calling that tribalist. I didn't even know that was a thing. But I'm not from places where there's tribes. But they were calling him tribalist.
Yeah, because he did a little breakdown, but that's what Andrew does. He knows those little, idiosyncrasies of your culture, and he's able to bring those out. But no, what I'm saying is after that little bullshit apology, Andrew woke it up on their ass and said, y'all guys could have took out whatever y'all wanted from the show, and y'all were cool with the jokes.
Yes.
Again, I don't feel like the jokes were that serious. I think y'all real problem is y'all invested in a group of people to be y'all fan base that are super fickle. Like the fact that you can't make any kind of joke around that and they act like they want to destroy you, it's kind of like the worst people to have your base around.
We don't want to destroy you. These are men who we propped up, who women made jokes for literally since 2020
about men. Oh, using them saying as
women made jokes saying that they were the exception, that these were the special guys, these are our special guys, and then they go on and then just fucking hee ha ha making jokes in niggas' faces. Not even, and then I see clips of Russ standing up for black people on the same podcast. I was like, these motherfuckers, how you let this white man do a better job than you?
It's because they
have white.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But that's a different kind of thing that they fall under because they know they're going to get heckled in hell for that. They even said it in their apology. They didn't think us joking about our own culture was going to be an issue. But now they see it. They said that. They said now that they see it as, oh, well, he's saying things out there. It was stupid. You should have stood on business. You should have said, bro, we out here playing. We having a good time.
It would have looked better if you did that because that apology was lame as fuck.
This
if
shit
y'all
was
were
corny.
like, we just thought it was funny and we were laughing at a funny joke, then okay. But now y'all look even fucking stupider. And then now Schultz is laughing at your dumbass apology, telling us that your producers, their producers, Shits and Gigs, asked them to take out specific shit, but y'all did not deem that as problematic enough to be taken out. Fucktards.
Like I said, the base that y'all invested in was just a horrible base. Like the fact that y'all had to even delete y'all first 100 episodes. They found clips of you saying, oh, if the girl said she was a black girl, who's like, you have a problem finding black men. Like they've been exposing these niggas from the jump. Y'all put yourself in a horrible situation by having the fan base that y'all had. Like it's honestly, it's really the worst. Like we talk about before, hair care products that y'all turned on.
Position that they are if it wasn't for the fan base that they had.
I'm saying you got to cultivate a better fan base.
Where they are.
We already know black people in general, when you try to cultivate that fan base, will turn on you if you do something that's seen as not ideal. But when you have
going against us.
But when you definitely do it with black women, you have already you've excommunicated yourself before you even started.
Why do you think black women are hypersensitive about this?
I think that we live in a world where
I'm about to
tell you. I'm about to talk to you. We live in a world where y'all have seen prior people where y'all kind of see your identity from. Prior black women have to be silenced, right? So y'all feel as though now any slight has to be brought on with you being heard, even if that slight is being used against you.
I think Black women are hypersensitive to stuff like this because we don't feel protected in a lot of ways. Like you probably within like your immediate little community feel protected, but in general, you've had probably lots of experiences in your personal life where you don't feel protected by Black men specifically. And then you find a little podcast that you like, and then you feel like they're not doing the whole stupid ass red pill shit, and they're just light and airy, and it feels like your comfort zone, right? It wasn't mine. I just liked watching their clips, but it feels like your comfort zone. And then you see them do the same shit that all these niggas do, and then it hurts your feelings. That's literally it. And they fall into the same box that all of these other niggas fall into. And then that's it. Like, feelings are hurt. Like, feelings get hurt.
The shit he said on what's the shit name? Poor Minds was way worse. That could be interpreted way worse than what anything he said in regards to that.
People were lumping both of those things
together.
That's
what I'm saying. The fact that he said, there was no baddies in Atlanta, that could be more implied that there's no bad. You don't like Black women.
Everyone was already side-eyeing them from that.
I know.
Then when they went on that, it was like a solidifying.
I think that makes my point of where it's like you are joining a fan base that wants to find something wrong. Like even in
because there is always something wrong.
It's
babe.
Not necessarily always something wrong. You
As a
make
Black
what's
woman,
wrong.
There's always something wrong.
I don't think it's necessarily you define what is wrong, and you define how egregious it is.
When we're in our society,
I'm listening.
The way things play out, we always get the short end of the stick.
When does that become a self-fulfilling prophecy?
You sound like white.
I'm asking you a question at that point now.
You sound like white people when Black people talk about systematic oppression.
No, I don't. I'm asking you a question.
No, I'm not answering that question because I feel disappointed in your asking that question, because you get mad when you say that when your friends tell Black people that they need to pull themselves up by their bootstraps, but you'll give a whole laundry list of why they can't, and then you're telling me that what I'm talking about, Black women being unprotected, is a self-fulfilling prophecy?
No, I'm asking the question. If you feel like that going into every situation, you interpret.
When does it become?
Hold on. I'm saying, yeah, I'm saying when you interpret every situation like that.
I don't like that.
Does it not always end up being that? You find the things you're looking for. That's what I'm saying.
And I'm saying that's the same argument white people give Black people when we talk about systematic oppression.
Yeah, but that's not an argument and a response.
That is a response.
No, it's not.
I'm saying
because if I'm saying about a specific thing, they'll say something like, "Oh, you're looking for racism." Like, no, I'm showing you the police violating people's rights on numerous occasions. What we're saying here is you're listening to people who you have quote unquote grabbed a trust from or a appreciation for, and when they go into an environment, you are now interpreting what they're saying as negative, even when they didn't say the negative thing. Even with Andrew Schultz, it wasn't like they went on there was talking Black women ugly, they the worst things in the world. They didn't do that. They made a joke about getting hit, which a lot of Black niggas have experienced though.
About Black women being abusive.
Black men have experienced that. They didn't say all the relationships.
About women being stressful to be with, so men lose their hair. It's not. You're acting like.
But that's not a real thing. That's what I'm saying. That's not a real thing. That's why it's a joke. Nobody's getting stressed out from just being
a joke, but it's harmful rhetoric.
If it's being reinforced in like a real way,
it's always being reinforced.
But we're talking about this
in
situation
over and over again.
And no one's saying that it's not. We're talking.
So I don't know what your point is.
Can you let me talk then? I'm talking about this particular situation when they're hanging out with a bunch of comedians making jokes.
They shouldn't have been there.
See what I'm saying? Like, that's the thing. They're there for make jokes.
No, because they should not have.
They are technically internet comedians, but they just read other people's material.
They're not comedians at all. James nor Fuhad are funny on their own. Not one fucking bit.
So that should even tell y'all even more that y'all are
They
making people
read
famous.
funny shit and they laugh at it, and their reactions to things are fun.
That's what I'm saying.
They're a reaction page.
But I'm saying that's the thing that even more telling, where it's
We
like
cannot call them comedians at all.
y'all are making people popular because you like their reaction to something, but you don't even know their opinion on anything.
There are so many reaction pages.
But I'm saying you don't know their opinion to anything. So it's like that's
now we know their opinions on things. Now we know y'all opinions.
And their opinion wasn't even nothing like y'all were bad.
And
that's
then-
what I'm saying. The opinion was
and
just joking about. Saying is,
shit to them
I'm
niggas.
saying what I'm saying. I'm bringing that up to say that's an experience people have had, getting hit by their girl, especially brothers. They will tell you, I've had experiences where women have hit me. So to joke about it is. But I'm saying to joke about it is not.
Conversation is going, and we can move on.
Okay, but I'm still not finished yet. What I'm saying is you can joke about that experience
I don't
without
want you to try to make excuses.
I'm
for
not
the
making
jokes
excuses.
that
What I'm
was
saying,
making, 'cause
he
that's
can-
what it sounds like you're doing.
he can make the joke about an experience they may have felt and experienced. That's not out of the realm of horrible things. That's not painting you with a broad stroke of saying that all black women are like this, and they're making jokes about their experiences.
I started this by saying that I expected this from Schultz. This is his content, and his jokes were not my problem. It's James and Fuhad's reaction, the fact that they were there in the first goddamn place, the sorry ass apology that they gave, Fuhad's absolute nonchalantness and passiveness physically the whole time James was apologizing, and it wasn't really even an apology for real. It's all just stupid as fuck, and don't support men. Just do. I'm just.
What was that? What would have been a proper reaction for them to have? Let's hear that. What they? Oh, we're not going to joke about black women here, Andrew. That's what they should have did.
No, just don't laugh.
Okay.
There are so many times that like I've been at work and white men have made jokes about black shit or black people or black men or hip hop this or this nigga sagging and he looks like a thug, and I'm just.
And some people laugh at it as a reaction too. They don't even think it's funny. They just laugh at it as a defense mechanism because they don't want to make everything into a cringy moment.
All you get is.
Could you imagine them doing that interview and then the whole time there's like, we can't joke about that. We can't, like, that shit would make a horrible interview. That would make a horrible conversation.
Not have gone on that specific platform because you should know your audience enough to know where you should go. So let's move on
James
from
and
here.
James and Fufu, whatever your name is, my nigga.
I've said
grab-
Fuhad over and over again.
Grab your balls and tell your little female audience they're gonna ride with you regardless, and just keep it moving, dog. Y'all don't got nothing else to worry about. Y'all gonna be all right. They ain't gonna go anywhere.